Everybody ready?
Yep.
Okay. We are here today to announce the arrest of George Graf for an incident that occurred in Fishtown. It involved a group of men beating up a victim by the name of John Ahrens, and also having physical contact that was pretty rough with a woman, a friend of his. The charges in this case are aggravated assault and conspiracy to commit aggravated assault, simple assault, and conspiracy to commit simple assault. In essence, what occurred is that John Ahrens, who happens to work as a producer for WHYY, was in Fishtown when he observed that there were a lot of men who were gathering, who had bats, a hatchet in one case, pipes, some other items. He began to take photographs, he took videos. The evening wore on, and as the evening wore on, there came a moment when several men chased him as he ran away. He was punched with a closed fist in the face, breaking his nose, also breaking his maxilla, which is a part of the upper jaw beneath the nose. He was on the ground. He was kicked repeatedly when he was on the ground. His female friend was thrown into some trash cans, and fortunately he was not more seriously injured. But this was basically an attack by a small mob of people. And it is very logical to assume that they were outraged that their threatening, assaultive, illegal, racist conduct and threats and words have been recorded by this man. This is one of many investigations that are ongoing so that we have equal accountability in Philadelphia, not just for people who are out after curfew with nothing in their hands, but for people who are out after curfew with bats in their hands and pipes in their hands, or who think it's okay to threaten and okay to assault with weapons in their hands. We need to make sure that justice is even-handed. We need to make sure that the DA's office and the Philadelphia Police Department are even-handed in how they apply the law. Are there any questions?
Do you have a number on how many people have been charged in connection with these violent mobs, or how many are investigated?
When you say these violent mobs, or, well, let me say this.
So the Attorney and Fishtown.
Right. As always, we don't disclose what investigations we are doing or not doing. Our office certainly has received a lot of video and a lot of witness information and other evidence that is useful in assessing all of the unrest. So that would be everything from people breaking into stores to violence committed by police. And certainly that would also include any of these self-proclaimed vigilantes. By the way, they're not vigilantes. A vigilante is supposed to be someone, a private person, a civilian who steps into the role of law enforcement to fight crime. They're not fighting crime. They're causing crime. And they would like to use that word vigilante to hide what they're doing. In the same way they'd like to say they're defending a police station that requires no defense, or they're defending a statute that requires no defense. These are just criminals. That's all they are. And as we look at them, including George Graf, what we see in many cases is a criminal record. Mr. Graf has a criminal record for violence in 2 different counties. He has been convicted, charged with aggravated assault, and then convicted of simple assault in both Bucks County and Philadelphia. Unfortunately, some people like to hurt people, and they will find an occasion to do it, especially if they have particular feelings about an issue or another group of people. So the best that I can tell you is that our investigations are ongoing. We're not at liberty to disclose exactly which ones are ongoing, but we take our duty to be even-handed very seriously.
What are the level of charges you might have spoken to? What is he facing charge-wise?
He is charged with aggravated assault, conspiracy to commit aggravated assault, simple assault, and conspiracy to commit simple assault at this time.
Do you have a number of how many people have been charged between Marconi Plaza mob and the Fishtown mob? How many people in total?
Well, I can certainly tell you that Mr. Mooney was charged very recently before this. We have now charged this individual. I think anybody who follows the press would probably be aware that there's information out there about some other people, and the DA's office, the police department, may have more information than the press. So there have been a few people who were given civil violation notices. That's done entirely by the police. The curfew violations, as I understand it, were all civil violation notices, so the DA's office had no role in that. And at the same time as Mooney was arrested on Marconi Plaza for punching an African-American photographer, there were 3 other people who were arrested, but they were given civil violation notices, so they will actually not go to a bail hearing, they will not have criminal charges, they will not go to criminal court. Their matters will be dealt with essentially as tickets in civil court. Are there any other questions?
This is unrelated, but do you know, was there an arrest in that case? There was a woman's body found in a suitcase of a K&A. We're trying to confirm if there was any kind of arrest in that case.
Is that okay? We can certainly get back to you with details. It's my understanding it's a Delaware County case. Okay. So you would probably have to direct your questions to them.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Is there anything else?
Do you want to give a quick snippet in Spanish by chance?
Sure. Estamos aquí para anunciar el arresto de un hombre que se llama George Graf. Los cargos en el caso son de asalto agravado y también de asalto simple con conspiración. En cuanto a esos 2 cargos, lo que pasó es que el señor Graf estaba con un grupo que pegaron con mano y con pies a una persona que estaba ahí usando su celular para grabar video sobre lo que estaba pasando. Es un caso bien serio. Rompieron el nariz del señor y por eso hemos venido con estos cargos hoy. Anything else?
Would you be able to give any numbers or information about investigations into police officers right now in terms of protest allegations?
We are not well, let me check one thing.
Yes.
It is my understanding,
Okay.
it's my understanding that the police commissioner has announced that the Philadelphia Police Department has sent materials to the DA's office for our consideration, having to do with activity on 676, more specifically having to do with the use of mace or OC spray on the faces of protesters who were actually either sitting or kneeling at the time the mace was used on them. Because the PPD has disclosed that, I can confirm that we have received that information for our consideration and that we will properly investigate and determine whether or not this referral of the case from the Philadelphia Police Department to us is one that merits charges. It's my understanding that the officer primarily involved in that particular case has been suspended for 30 days with intent to dismiss. So obviously it's something that the police department is taking seriously, and we will give it a very even-handed and close investigation. I cannot confirm or deny whether there are other investigations having to do with particular police officers, having to do with public officials, but I can tell you we take our obligation very seriously, as I think is becoming clear day after day. Is there anything else? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.